So today we'll be looking at the first Marvel character to be adapted into a movie, Howard the Duck. Now I only have one question. How the duck did this get made? Truth is, I don't know. This movie had a budget of $36 million, which is ridiculous. 2 years before this, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom had a budget of $28 million. A year before, Back to the Future came out, and had a budget of $19 million. And in 1986, they gave $36 million to Howard the Duck. And worldwide, it only made $38 million, which at least they got more money than their budget, but it's still not the best profit. So the movie starts off, and hold up, George Lucas presents? So he was executive producer on this. Well, I'm not surprised. This is the man who gave us the Star Wars prequels. Anyway, we see famous movies and magazines, but they're duckified. So Howard looks like this. Beautiful, I know. So Howard's watching TV, and this joke's actually funny, not gonna lie.
Oh, Fred, I love you so much. It hurts. I can't.
So while Howard is reading his Play Duck magazine, the ground starts shaking, and then he blasts off. And I'm not allowed to show that on YouTube. I probably am, because this is a kids movie after all, rated 12 on IMDb. But I'm not taking any risks. Susan's around every corner. Howard is then sucked into a wormhole, and of course survives traveling at high speeds in space. There probably is like some force field around him, but for now all he's got is plot armor. Then we get a random narration by this guy.
What is, what was, and what will be start here with the words, in the beginning there was Howard the Duck.
So Howard then plummets towards the earth and lands on a couch. Of course, he immediately gets jumped by some, I don't know, thugs. Take a shot every time he uses a common phrase that has man in it, but instead uses duck. Don't do this, by the way, you'll probably die of alcohol poisoning. He proceeds to get thrown, hit, and abused by like 10 people, until he lands into a trash can. After all that, he takes a nap. Then this lady who was playing a song while Howard was being tossed, is walking down the street and then gets harassed by these two guys. So Howard helps, and of course he knows
one laughs at a master of quack fu and
Howard beats these dudes up, and afterwards she takes him to her apartment. And she's kind of insulting him by treating him like a pet.
Listen, would you like something to eat or, drink, milk? I could put it in a bowl.
Oh, doll, I don't drink out of bowls. You got a beer?
It's like this duck is obviously smart, because he's talking to you. Anyway, the ground shakes and he has PTSD flashbacks to when he got thrown into another dimension, but was actually just a truck. Anyway, Howard's giving his life story. He's a med school dropout, an aspiring music artist, and now an advertiser. And Leah Thompson talks about destiny and maybe he's there for a reason, and Howard gets really bored and takes a nap. So she looks through his wallet and... okay, movie. Sure. So the next morning, she takes him to the scientist guy, and this dude is way too much. He's seeing if he's got superpowers, obviously not. Then after finding out he's only a lab assistant and realizing he's an idiot, Howard storms off.
Howard, wait!
Haha, typical hairless ape.
Everybody is terrified of him. Howard and Leah argue, and then they have a falling out. By the way, I don't know what her name is in the movie, I just know the actress's name, so she will now be known as Leah. So with nowhere else to go, he tries to find a job. He gets one at this hot tub club where you make out in hot tubs, and then he quits by shoving his boss in a mud bath. So now he's walking in the streets and he sees 3 TVs showing duck hunting, Looney Tunes, and a cooked duck. Of course, Howard's mortified and runs away. He wanders into the club that Leah works at, and then Howie tries to threaten her manager into giving the money he owes her. So he beats them up, and he also threatens them with space rabies. So Howie and Leah make up. Idiot scientist guy comes in, steals the feather from Howie Mandel, and runs off. Anyway, Howard and Leah get in bed together, and she starts seducing him. And I think this might be illegal, but I don't know. Does Howard count as an alien or an animal? I don't know, either way it's weird. She says she's joking and gives him a goodnight kiss. But 3 guys who are scientists walk in and see them. This guy puts it the best.
My God. This relationship, it defies all the laws of nature.
Anyway, they tell Howie how he got here, and so far, this movie isn't actually that bad. It was pretty entertaining, still not great though. But at this point, it will just get worse and more boring. So the laser that brought Howard here could probably bring him back. So they go there, and the thing blew up. So the cops show up, strip him, handcuff him, then they beat up a cop, steals a gun, and then he throws away the gun, like an idiot. So the one guy with a mustache is getting possessed by a demon because of an explosion. Dang, he's getting sweaty. Now, a generic bad guy called the Dark Overlord or something is possessing the guy, and now they're in a diner. Now there's this code key that'll bring other Dark Overlords to Earth. It's very dumb. Then some dude messes with Howard and Leah. Then Howard throws pies in their face. Man, flippin' slapstick comedy, am I right? Then they tie him down and they're about to chop off his head.
Put him down! Howard may be a duck, but you people are animals! He's my boyfriend!
That's disgusting.
That's actually a pretty funny scene, not gonna lie. 2 funny scenes so far. So then the Lord of Darkness becomes Electro and makes this dude have a seizure. Bro, he's got every superpower. My man's Electro, Human Torch, 11 from Stranger Things, all in one. So the evil guy steals Leah, and now Howard's gotta save her. One heck of a line. So idiot scientist guy is arrested, and Howard breaks him out. And then they find and fix an aeroplane. So they fly away from the cops, hijinks ensue. Anyway, they get there, and Leah's tied down because you need a human sacrifice or something, I don't really care. So then Howard finds a big sci-fi gun, and more hijinks ensue. They have a Harry Potter wand duel, and the evil is blasted out the guy, but out pops a stop-motion monster. Amazing. I do love me some stop motion, I just don't think they did the best job with this one. Anyway, Howard blasts the monster, and also the machine. So more don't arrive. But now he can't get home. Very sad. Howie has a fake out death, and it finally ends in a music number, where Howard is their manager and everything is good. Now this movie isn't something special. It's fine, but I really did get bored of it. But the sad thing is, it had potential to be kinda interesting. So I'm gonna do something I usually don't do, and I'm gonna kind of do a rewrite or a movie pitch or something. Now I haven't read many Howard the Duck comics, but I'll just wing it. My idea is to make it a detective story, where Howard is actually a detective. Now, you start off with like a little mini adventure, kinda like Indiana Jones. Maybe Howard is finding someone who got kidnapped, and it'll be like a reveal. He's in the shadows, he's making all these threats to the bad guys, and out steps a talking duck. The dudes start laughing, and then Howard will shoot them with a gun. Yes, I said gun. I want this to be a very violent movie. So after having like a chase scene getaway, he'll reunite the person with his or her family or loved one. He gets home, maybe drinks some beer, we set up that he's very lonely. Then the next morning he goes to his office, and he meets a woman who has a job for him. Then the rest of the movie will be them solving the case. Maybe it's a murder or an assassination, and they gotta figure out who did it, and how to stop them. And throughout, they kind of fall in love. They'll probably have a quiet scene where they're hiding from the bad guys in a motel, and that's where we get Howard's backstory, but we don't get any visuals because that'll be lame. Only him explaining how one day a portal took him to Earth, and he's been stuck there ever since. Then they have an emotional moment where they're talking about their traumas, and then they kiss. And maybe his love interest dies, and he goes on a rampage with a machine gun or something, I don't know. And if there's a sequel, he'll be a hardened detective. So yeah, that's my pitch for a Howard the Duck movie. It definitely won't happen because I think this movie should be an R-rated movie. And that's definitely not going to happen in the Disney Plus climate right now. Anyway, the movie was mid. 4 ducks out of 10. So we figured it out. The first Marvel comic movie was a flop. See you next video, where we uncover another mystery.